just get started in a moment. Hi, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. Thank you for joining us for today's media availability to provide an update on O-Train Line 1 and bus service. Merci de vous joindre à nous pour ce point de presse afin de faire le point sur les changements apportés à la ligne E de O-Train. As a reminder, our media availability is available in French and English, and interpretation is available by clicking on the globe icon at the bottom menu and selecting your language. Ce point de presse est disponible en français ou en anglais. Si vous souhaitez bénéficier d'une interprétation audio, cliquez sur l'icône de globe d'interprétation dans le menu du bas, puis sélectionnez la langue de votre choix. Our media availability will include opening remarks from Troy Charter, Interim General Manager of Transit Services. Le point de presse aujourd'hui comprendra des remarques préliminaires de Troy Charter, Directeur Général par intérim Service de transport en commun. I will pass things over to Troy now.
Thank you, Katrina. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Merci de vous joindre à nous aujourd'hui.
Thank you for joining me today.
Our Chief Safety Officer here with OC Transpo. I know that all of you received our latest update on our work to restore capacity on Line 1, as well as our progress to improve our bus service delivery. But there's a few things that I wanted to highlight today. We continue to serve customers on Line 1 at 3 to 4 minute frequency during the peak periods, and our team continues to be at key stations during the busiest periods of the day to support our customers. We expect that this will continue next week as well. I do want to take a moment to thank our customers, as we've noticed that there's fewer people running to catch trains, and we're also seeing customers being very mindful of others, as they board and exit trains. This helps us from a safety perspective, but it also helps us keep service moving as quickly as efficiently as possible. So I'd like to thank our customers for that. Our teams remain focused on working through our action plans to restore capacity on Line 1. Firstly, we continue to meet with RTG, Alstom, and their experts. In these technical meetings, the focus remains on ensuring that the proposed measures that need to be put in place ensure the ongoing safety and reliability of the system. The work is complex and unfortunately cannot be rushed. We have experts working with us to ensure that the system is safe, and when restoring capacity, it will continue to be safe. In parallel, RTG and Alstom are gathering more technical information by carrying out further technical analysis and laboratory testing of the cartridge bearing assemblies. This is detailed work, and again, will take time, but we'll continue to form our understanding of the spalling issue, as well as inform our medium and longer term plans. While this work is time-consuming, properly validating and verifying this analysis will help us to restore the capacity quickly and stabilize the system in both the short as well as the long term. I now will talk about. For the week of February 15th to 21st, bus service delivery increased and was on average of 96.8%, so just under 97%. For comparison, this weekly average is 2.7% higher than the early January average. Conversely, since early January, we've seen a reduction in undelivered trips from 6% to 3%. We also had an average of 492 buses available each weekday last week. This is an improvement from the approximate 460 buses that we had available in early January, and we've continued to see improvements this week, and we're reaching numbers of over 500. I know our maintenance team has made significant progress on the required maintenance work on our existing fleet, and this will continue to grow our fleet and improve our reliability. We know there is more work to do, but we are encouraged at the early stages of our action plan that we're starting to see the results. We remain focused on continuing to make this incremental progress, and we look forward to our customers being able to experience that. Our electric bus procurement program is also making advancements, with 2 more buses completing their final inspections last week and are now part of our operating bus fleet. This will continue to help increase the number of buses that we have available for service. And before I conclude, I'd like to thank our customers for their patience as we work through our action plans to safely restore capacity on Line 1, as well as improve our bus service delivery. I know that this is impacting your daily lives, but we are focused here on making sure we get those improvements as quickly as possible so that you can get the better service that you deserve. Thank you. I'll now pass things back over to Katrina.
Thank you, Troy. I'll invite each agency in alphabetical order to ask one question and one follow-up. Je vais inviter chaque organisme de presse par ordre alphabétique à poser
So
une question.
you are allowed one question and one follow-up question.
CBC.
Start with Cameron Muller, CBC.
Good afternoon. My question is is about the release from this morning. It says that your team's dialogue with RTG has been focused on validation and verification of their proposed containment and monitoring systems. What exactly does that mean in some more simple terms?
So we know that there's an issue with the cartridge bearing assembly issue, right? There's this spalling that's occurred, and there's a number of containment measures that they put in place or mitigations that allow us to ensure that nothing will happen while the vehicle's in service. So there's various inspections and various other mechanical processes that they go through to validate this. So what we want to do is we want to be assured, and it takes time to do that, that their monitoring systems will have a high degree of accuracy. We want to know that 100% of the time that it will be able to verify that there's no issue with spalling that would impact the service of that vehicle. So we're going through that process, and that's the stuff that takes time, is making sure that the systems, the processes, and the tools that they're using will produce that high degree of reliability in predicting whether or not spalling exists on a bearing.
My follow-up is this is the third update in a row where it seems like we're stuck at that 21 train number on line 1, and we're expecting it to still be 21 again next week. My question is, how is this still the case, and have any of the spalling affected trains gone back on the line?
So right now we're providing, as I said, we were able to increase the service several weeks ago to that 15 number of trains, 3 to 4 minute frequency at peak periods. And we really want to make sure that as we're at these early stages, that we're managing our fleet of vehicles and we're managing the supply of the cartridge bearing assembly. So we're still at those 21 vehicles available for service because we're making very cautious decisions to make sure we manage the fleet and be able to maintain this level of service. We do want to grow this level of service, but in order to grow it, we want to see that we validated and verified their processes, making sure that all the proper tools are in place and yield those results that I just mentioned.
Thank you.
Next is Ted Raymond at CTV.
Hi there. Yeah, just kind of following up on that. It seems that not a lot has changed in the last few weeks. It's like we're moving very slowly on this. What will it take to start seeing service reliability actually improve? What more needs to be done at this point?
Thank you for the question, Ted. And you're asking about the rail side of things, I assume?
The rail side of things and the bus side of things. I mean, because the bus service delivery, it's gotten a little bit better, but you're still below target. I'm just kind of looking at, the broader picture of the transit system.
On the rail side of things, what's important for us is making sure that, as I just mentioned, there's a number of containment measures and mitigations that, RTG and Alstom have proposed that would allow us to increase the service and get back to the full capacity that we received before. So the city's doing their due diligence and going through and reviewing that because we want to make sure that, we have to make sure, not want to make sure, sorry, we have to make sure that that their systems, their tools, their processes that they're using will catch if they're spalling on a bearing, so that we can remove that vehicle from service without incident. That's a 100% of focus. It's about the safety, security. So we've been focused on that the last couple of weeks, and I know that customers haven't seen an increase in the number of vehicles, but we really need to land that process with RTG and Alstom, and those conversations aren't going to be able to do that. That review there will allow us to increase the number of vehicles, then I'll obviously get back to full capacity on that line. So that work is advancing. On the bus side of things, as I've been mentioning, our focus is on a few fronts. We need to, deal with a bit of our maintenance backlog. We need to continue with our recruitment of mechanics, and we need to onboard the zero electric emission buses so that we can retire some of the oldest buses in our fleet that are unreliable. And when we have issues, they tend to be out for longer periods of time. So as we onboard more buses, as we bring on more mechanics, and we've seen some positive aspects of recruitment on the mechanic side of things. As we do that, we will see incremental improvements in our bus service. And then when we get into better weather as well, it's easier to manage a fleet of vehicles with the better weather. But on the bus side of things, it's seeing that incremental improvement week over week, month over month. That's what we need to continue to see. And that's a function of, our maintenance team doing the great work that they do, onboarding new buses, and then bringing on additional resources in terms of mechanics as well as operators.
Okay, thank you. And my second question is kind of about the East Extension, but about return to office in general. We've had some Easton councillors who have said they want the federal government to hold off until the East Extension is open. Do you anticipate it being open by July? I know you're not really, keen on timelines, but, July 6th is kind of that target that the federal government has set. Do you think you'll be there? And, what kind of capacity do you anticipate having for when more customers are taking the bus or the train because of RTO?
So once again, great question. I know that's on a lot of people's minds right now in terms of the capacity of our system. I'd love to be able to give a date for the East Extension. Obviously, that's highly contingent upon the work that we're doing right now to address the spalling and increase the capacity of vehicles. Once we have these containment measures validated and confirmed that they will produce the results we expect, then we can increase our fleet of vehicles. And then that would be the opportunity to get into, the trial running aspect and getting service going in the East Extension. Everyone wants that East Extension to happen soon and as quickly as possible. Our entire team here wants that as well. So we want to see that as well too. Unfortunately, I can't provide a date right now, but we're focused on twofold: closing out the construction activities, that's moving along in parallel as the work that we're doing to increase the capacity, increase the number of vehicles on line one, and that's primarily focused on those containment measures that I referenced earlier.
Et prochainement, Sébastien Pierrose, le droit.
Sébastien Pierrose, le droit. Microphone, please.
Sébastien, vous êtes encore sur...
Sebastian, we can't hear you.
Excusez-moi.
Wonderful.
Merci. Monsieur Charter, on parle de 21 véhicules
Mr. Charter, you're talking about 21 cars
à 4 minutes.
every 3 to 4 minutes. This was exactly the same answer last week, as well as 2 weeks and 3 weeks ago. Do you think there will be an improvement? And when are you expecting this type of improvement? I know that you're doing your best, but the information is repetitive. Do you think that we will see an improvement soon? Answer? On the short term, we need to put in place some measures. We need to improve the capacity on line one. We have to look into the tools as well as RTG and Alstom's processes. We want to make sure that the service is reliable. At the same time, we're focusing on these elements, the processes, the tools. Then we will be able to increase the number of cars in circulation. This will improve the capacity. Sabrina, can you complement my answer? Yes, it looks like it's the same update every week, but it doesn't mean that the situation is not improving. There are a lot of discussion and technical documents. It takes some time. We need to research, answer questions. Every time there's an exchange of documents, we have new questions. We have to talk to Alstom, then RTG. They have to talk to their own experts. Also, at the same time, it's a very technical issue, and we don't have many specialists. So it takes some time. We know that the updates are fairly similar. It doesn't mean that the situation is not improving. Thank you, Sabrina. Sebastian, second question. Thank you for your clear answer. If I understand well, it depends on RTG, isn't it? Can we characterize it like this? Answer, yes. You can characterize it that way. It's a technical issue. We have to make sure that RTG solves the issue. We can say it that way. Thank you so much.
Et Frédéric Pepin, Radio-Canada.
Bonjour à vous tous.
Hello, everyone.
Est-ce que vous pouvez nous donner un peu d'informations sur combien de
Can you
cartridge bearing
tell
assembly
us
vous avez en stock?
how many cab CAB do you have in stock?
La disponibilité des
Are you
pièces
well
pour faire
positioned? Do you have enough
les remplacements sur les
parts
véhicules qui en ont
to
besoin?
replace the damaged one?
Sorry, je cherche des mots en français, je m'excuse.
I'm looking for my
Ça, c'est
words in
quelque chose qu'on
French.
doit gérer.
Yes, we do have to manage our
Mais
stocks.
il y en a de supply, des cartridge bearing assembly, mais c'est quelque chose
We have
qui
enough
doit
supply.
être,
We have enough CABs.
on doit le gérer. Et ça,
We
c'est
just
une
have to
raison
manage.
qu'on mette 15 trains en
That's
opération
why
maintenant.
we
C'est
have
pour
15
gérer les kilomètres
trains.
sur le train,
We
mais
have to
aussi de
look at
supply
the
of cartridge
mileage
bearing assembly.
and as
Mais
well as the
on sait
supply of
qu'il y a une
our
supply,
cartridges.
and
But
they
we
will
have
receive
enough.
more and more each month. But it is something that we need to be cautious about. It is.
Tout à l'heure, Sabrina a
Earlier
dit
today,
à
Sabrina
la
said
réponse à la question de mon collègue du droit que
to my
oui,
colleague from le
RTG,
droit
c'est eux qui doivent savoir comment gérer le
that
problème, mais moi, je me
RTG
rappelle, je
has
suis
to
curieux
manage
de
the
dire
issue.
que Alstom dit qu'il n'y a pas de problème, puis que le train est correct,
Alstom is
le
saying
train est
that there's
capable
no
de rouler
issue
plus que
and
100
that
000
the train
kilomètres.
can
Donc,
actually
est-ce que
go
vous
beyond the
commencez à
150,000
arriver à une
kilometers.
solution pour être
Do you think you
capable
will
de
reach
garder
a
les trains à plus
solution?
que 100 000 kilomètres?
Do you
Est-ce que
think you will be able to
Alstom
use
et
the train
RTG
over
vous ont
100,000
présenté un
kilometers?
scénario dans lequel
Did you receive
vous
information
aurez
from
peut-être
RTG and
bientôt un peu plus
Alstom
d'assurance sur
so that you can actually
le
move forward?
kilométrage que les trains peuvent vraiment
Thinking
rester
about
sur les rails
mileage,
avant de
the
devoir
real
changer?
mileage before you
Oui,
go
ça,
and
c'est notre
change a
focus.
cartridge.
C'est pour améliorer le service et
Yes, this
pour
is our
enlever
objective. We want to
le
improve
100
the
000
service.
kilomètres restriction
So we have
qui
to
est sur
move
le train maintenant.
beyond the
Mais
100,000
Alstom et RTG,
kilometers
ils savent que
restriction.
il y a un problème avec le cartridge bearing assembly. Il y en a un
Alstom
problème.
is
Mais ils ont dit que
knows about the issue that we have with the CAB.
le processus
But there's a
s'assurer que
process.
la flotte est
We
sécure.
want to make sure that
We're
everything
doing our due
is
diligence.
safe.
We want to make sure we need to verify that, and there's questions that are outstanding that need to be answered. But they have said they know that there is a problem with the cartridge bearing assembly. We just need to make sure that the processes and the mitigations they put in place give us that high degree of confidence and ensure that the fleet continues to be safe.
So those negotiations, they're advancing. Like, I mean, you guys need more proof, and they are probably showing you guys something. So are we getting close to an understanding there?
Oui, and I'll let Sabrina answer in French, but yes, we are moving forward, and that's been a lot of those conversations. But it's the technical discussions that going on, and it's the exchanging of information back and forth, and it's highly technical. And given that it is a safety feature of the vehicles, you need to make sure that there's nothing happens with these cartridge bearing systems. We need to be very, very cautious in our approach. So Sabrina, if you could answer in French, I'd appreciate that.
Oui, Fred, comme tu saches, comme Mr. Charter a
Like
dit,
Mr. Charter just said, there are progresses. We know we're discussing every single day. We have meeting every single days. So we're reaching almost a solution. But because we have a lot of questions, I'm focusing on safety. So we cannot just take Alstom word for granted. We have also specialists. They are specialists. We have to make sure that everything is okay before we increase the number of cars. We have to make sure that we will not have any issues. That's really the bottom line. We're proceeding to a risk analysis.
This concludes our media availability today, everyone. Ceci conclut le point de presse aujourd'hui. Thank you. Merci.
Merci à tous.